So I know today's topic is a hot take. I get it, right? But there's actually a lot of evidence to suggest that tattoos increase combat effectiveness. What type of tattoos? Well, depending on the circumstance, all tattoos, depending on what you're trying to do. Obviously, tattoos on the face and hands and neck can identify you and give away who you are. So, obviously, tattoos are not good for covert operations. But let's take the person that's on the front line. Tattoos, like tattoo sleeves specifically, seem to break up the shape of the human body. Tattoos on the arms break up the shape of the arms. It becomes less necessary to put face paint on your arms. You can wear short sleeve shirts and get a better camouflage effect. Tattoos also seem to contribute to psychological intimidation. They also contribute to a feeling of camaraderie if the people wearing the tattoos have warrior like tattoos. If they have Odinic symbols, or if they're Christian, if they have Christian symbols, it seems like the tattoos can increase camaraderie between those who are fighting. We have seen this in prison. Tattoos are good for intimidation, they're good for camouflage, and they overall make a person more combat effective. They signal tribal affiliation, accomplishments, and things of this nature. They have been used for thousands of years. A lot of people are quick to write off tattoos and to say that they look unprofessional, but this stigma of tattoos looking unprofessional is, for the most part, a generational construction. It's mostly older generations that feel this way. So this generational mindset will die off with the older generations. So tattoos will be viewed as more and more professional as time progresses, simply because younger people like them more. It should also be remembered that when you send young men off to war, you're not sending them off to a fucking dinner party. I believe that there is extensive evidence that tattoos are combat effective, and I believe that anybody that is in charge of a military, paramilitary, or law enforcement, militia, whatever type of organization engaging in tactics of any kind, security, whatever it may be, should definitely have a policy to be as lenient with tattoos as possible. I have seen both female and male corrections officers with face tattoos working in Florida Department of Corrections. For obvious reasons, I can't find any photos of them on the internet because it's bad PR, but they do exist. They are in there. Tattoos are tactical. Tattoos are combat effective. Tattoos break up your shape. Tattoos look cool. Tattoos are intimidating. And tattoos are good for unit cohesion and camaraderie. They are used in prison to instantly signal your tribal affiliation to other groups, so they could even have the potential to stop a friendly fire incident. Not likely to happen on an actual battlefield, but nonetheless, it could happen. Especially if your tattoos are very prominent and obvious, it could definitely help identify one of your teammates. I'm speaking from experience when I say that both in prison and in the Republic of Florida militia, it made people easier to identify in low light conditions. It also made it easier to remember nicknames, especially when the nicknames had something to do with one of the tattoos. If I hand something to you and I say, hey, give this to Frank, and you don't know who Frank is, I can very quickly say, Frank is the guy with the rose tattooed on his hand. And then you hand it to Frank. It helps. If I see that you have the Fallout Vault Boy tattooed on you, I know we're both fans of Fallout. That's a conversation piece. You're building unit cohesion because you instantly see something you have in common with this person. There's also certain tattoos that mean something, certain tattoos you have to earn, certain tattoos that denote places you've been and things you've done. Again, this is very useful information to have on your arm. Not good for covert ops, but definitely good for soldiers on a battlefield. 100%. Definitely useful for law enforcement. Definitely useful for security. Definitely useful for preppers. Basically useful for the majority of men on the planet. even men that are involved in homesteading or whatever. It's a way to identify common interest, common struggle, places we've been, things we like, whatever. They signify things. These are useful tools. This goes back to anthropology. Anyways, I hope you guys give this some thought, even if you disagree with it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And that's all for today. Until the next one, Jordan Jareb signing off.